Get ready
for another episode
of Live Speak. With Justin the Geek.
Justin the Geek.
Justin the Geek.
Justin the Geek.
What you're about to hear.
Live Speak. Justin the Geek.
Breaking news.
Live Speak.
Interesting guests.
Justin
the Geek.
Your calls and texts.
Live Speak. Tips and news you can use. Warning.
Warning.
This program is highly addictive and habit-forming. Side effects include happiness, knowledge, memory improvement, and retention, increased attention span, loss of disabilities, and more. Consult your doctor before listening to this program. Now, enjoy this.
Yes, we are live. Speak with Justin the Geek. Another episode. I think I said that backwards. My name is Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com. Although some people say that my voice is better suited to read romance novels, I will be your host, guest, and the person pushing buttons. Exciting. Anyway, Justin couldn't be here today. I think he's out saving rainforests or something this week, and he should be back next week. He may be listening. Don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll see him in the chats. I personally am not as good at chatting and talking at the same time, if that makes any sense. So forgive my negligence to the chat while I speak live. Anyway, tech news. Apple One goes in auction for $671,000 from a German auction, even signed by Steve Wozniak himself. I don't know if anybody's seen those computers. Not much to them. But there are only about 6 working, according to reports. Reports. That's the sound of reports. Anyway, other things. Google defends its proprietary use of technology, or proprietary technology, that is, in the new Google Hangouts-based Google Talk. Main thing this means to you is that you're not going to be able to use other services to link all your social networking chattings together. Google will not be able to be a part of that. I, for one, don't care. But I would rather have less services to sign up to chat. In fact, I was just talking to someone the other day that was complaining that I don't use Google Talk. That's because I don't have my email open all the time, and the little talk interface doesn't always talk to me until later. Also, this news is kind of old already, since yesterday, but Microsoft was going to pull its YouTube app from the Windows Phone because Google was a bit mad. Reason being, Microsoft decided that they didn't want to put Google ads on the videos, which I'd say I don't care, but I do care. I make money that way, and that's kind of a bummer. In fact, I wonder if that has affected me in any way. Probably a little bit, not as much as some of the other folks out there making money on Google ads, but it's kind of a bummer. Apparently, though, I believe this morning, they came to an agreement, and they will now put the ads on there. The main reason why Microsoft went ahead and did that was because Google did not provide a Windows 8 app. Who would? But you know how we feel about Windows 8 here. Anyway, lastly, as I reported on the Digital Crafts Facebook page a couple days ago, the creator of the graphics interchange format, better known to me as GIF, Steve Wilhite, says that it's actually pronounced GIF, like the peanut butter. I don't agree. I'm still going to call it GIF. But, yeah, that's my news. Again, that's the sound of news coming in. Anyway, the topic today is social media, Facebook. Has it lost its cool with teens? And does that matter? And talking about social networks in general. Some of the early social networks and things of that nature. So as soon as we come back from a quick song, we will talk about that. This song is from my music bank, local musician here, nationally signed, Left Lane Cruiser. This song is called Big Mama.
From Hollywood, Pabst Blue Ribbon, finest beers served anywhere, proudly presents...
Justin the Geek every Sunday at 2 p.m. He's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on Udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show.
I haven't done this in a while. Fumbling over the buttons. Anyway, that was a Left Lane Cruiser from my hometown of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Anyway, so we're going to talk about Facebook losing its cool and social networks, media, however you prefer to pronounce. From an article in Time, reads, has Facebook lost its cool? That's a question that Time posed earlier this year to dozens of teenagers who mostly insisted that newer social networks like Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter were more engaging. Further studying finds that teens on Facebook are feeling stressed by drama, one of the great burdens of adolescent life. The social confrontations found in high school hallways are now playing out online too. Awesome. Makes me happy I'm not a teen anymore. Although, to those teens, the drama continues, just different drama. Anyway, so Facebook is the kind of the king now. Google Plus trying to slide in there. Not sure how that's going to work out for them. Although we have seen things crumble like MySpace. So maybe that'll happen. But anyway, social networks date back to 1969, back in the days of ARPANET. I will say I'm not that old. Wasn't around that far back. But I do remember BBS services, bulletin board services. I had an experience as a teenager in the 90s where I used a service called Duango, the dial-up wide area networking game operation, which I didn't know that's what it was called at the time, but Wikipedia tells me everything. But anyway, I used that to play Doom and Doom 2, maybe even Duke Nukem 3D, I don't remember. But their servers were started in Texas, and that's usually where the strongest community was. So I would use dial-up, obviously, that's part of the name, to mingle with and play others in multiplayer Doom and Doom 2. That was until my parents got the phone bill and realized I was using dial-up to call long distance from Indiana to Texas for hours on end. So that squashed that. Luckily, they got the phone bill taken care of, all $700 of it. But that was an experience of mine using services back then that I, would pave the way for social networking down the road. Some of the first major networks, people don't even think about these. Probably, teens especially probably have no idea. But CompuServe, which actually started back in 1969 as well. I did not know that. Prodigy, which I do remember. We did not sign up to Prodigy, but we got their little floppy disks in the mail all the time. But that started in 1984. The service that I remember first, aside from Duango, was AOL, which started in 1991 with their DOS version. Started for me in 1994 with their version 2.0, which I'm sure all of us remember, or at least those old enough remember getting, at least on a weekly basis, floppy disks, followed by CDs and random creative packaging from AOL, trying to get you to install America Online, for those of you who don't know what AOL stands for. But yeah, they marketed the crap out of that. But I don't know. AOL was probably one of, I would say, personally, the first major social networking services. You had chat, or instant messaging anyway, chat rooms, dating. You had pretty much the whole pack. The whole internet was AOL. In fact, I remember to my parents, AOL was the internet, even when we got broadband. In those days, when broadband became popular and we paid for it, I could not convince my folks for many years to cancel AOL because they kept asking me, well, how do I get on the internet? Well, that's what that $40 a month bill is for broadband. But they did eventually cancel their AOL. But anyway, so yeah, that was the whole package. Now, of course, we don't need a package like that. There was they kind of had control over the internet in that way back when we were using AOL to access everything. Now we do everything browser-based. We don't need a software like American Online to get around the webs. One of the first modern social networks, I don't know if people remember this, but back in 2002, Friendster came out. This was kind of a play on words with the popular Napster at the time. It was founded by Jonathan Abrams, a Canadian computer programmer. Friendster was one of the first social media sites to attain over 1 million members. And I remember using Friendster back in college, which would have been the time I was in Florida, around 2002, when it first got popular. And I likened it, if those of you don't remember, to me it was a lot more like Facebook, or the Facebook that would be. When MySpace came out, it was a totally different monster. Friendster was the more reserved, kind of keep to yourself, choose who your friends are, don't exploit everything, that Facebook was when it first came out. In fact, Friendster was actually offered $30 million by Google in 2003, which, had they not turned it down, that would have been an interesting turn of events. We may not even have a Facebook if Google would have gotten their hands on it. As of 2011, though, Friendster is now a social gaming site and looks nothing like it used to. Friendster, however, was defeated by MySpace shortly thereafter in 2003, so they only had about a year run of being cool. It was started as an alternative to Friendster. One of the main things they pushed was the fact that you're not forced to use your actual name when you sign up. In fact, Tequila, I think that's how you say her name, was among one of the first celebrities to switch from Friendster to MySpace, boosting its popularity. In fact, in 2005, MySpace was reported to have more page views than Google. That's pretty crazy. It was pretty much popular from 2005 until 2008, so it had a good 3-year run until it was beat out by Facebook, or the Facebook as it was called then. So, leading up to Facebook, we have all this history, and I don't know how many people remember all these things that I just mentioned, but I actually liked Friendster. I liked MySpace as well. Friendster, I believe, started trying to charge for things. I can't totally back that up, but if I remember, there was a reason why I liked MySpace better. And I think that was one of the things. Other thing, MySpace was definitely much better suited, and still is, I think, even, well, I mean, let me rephrase that. It was better for music and things like that. As a band member, promoting our music and having a page for our music was way better on MySpace. Their tools were better. The fact that you could redesign your page to fit the look and feel of your band, things like that, was really cool. Granted, that was part of the reason why it wasn't very cool for other users who were just grabbing random scripts to put glitter all over their page and many times crash everybody's browser because they were putting things together with code that they didn't understand. That was one of the big reasons I feel MySpace kind of dipped out. But I still think if they actually had the user base, it would be the better alternative for musicians and entertainment, whereas Facebook doesn't have as many tools for that. But anyways, I'm going to go to a quick commercial break, aka me catch my breath, and we'll talk about some Facebookings.
Getting an amazing education is a must, but going to classes and listening to boring teachers can be very painful and expensive. Luckily, we have the internet, but it is so hard to find courses that are high quality, cheap, and easily accessible. Not anymore, thanks to Udemy. Udemy is the online academy for you. At Udemy, you can find hundreds of great courses from world-class instructors. You can learn stuff like how to create awesome demo videos cheaply, how to program in Python, Ruby, or HTML, how to start your own company, even how to wiggle your feet to the rhythm of salsa. But what if you want to teach others what you know? No problem. Udemy makes it super easy to create your own course in a few steps. Just create an account for free, give your course a name, upload all your content in any format, video, audio, PowerPoint, Word, PDF, publish it, and voila! It's now accessible to anyone, at any time, all over the world. You can even set a price for your course so you can make some money. Learn anything, teach anything at Udemy, the Academy of You.
You're listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek every Sunday at 2 p.m. He's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on Udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show.
I am now properly rested. Still fumbling over the buttons. I haven't obviously done my radio show in months. And with Justin, I get to just sit back and pay attention when I feel like it and talk when I feel like it. So a lot of responsibilities here at Live Speak with Alan the Geek. Anyway, so Facebook losing its cool with teens. And I don't know. I don't know if it matters. I mean, teens are kind of the primary. Well, I don't know if they're the primary user, but they're definitely a driving force behind social media. I guess in the last couple of years, you find a lot more people my age and older. My parents, grandparents are on Facebook and things like that. But whether they're using it more than teens doesn't matter as much as whether the advertising and the money being made, which is probably directed more towards teens. So that's more important. But we'll see. I can definitely see the drama. I'm friends with, I've blocked a lot of them, but I'm friends with some of my friends' children who are now teenagers, some of which almost adults. And I don't want to see the crap they're talking about. Some of it's pretty awful. And then some of it's just like the article says, drama. Very annoying. I don't want to hear your personal garbage on the interwebs. I don't know if that's because I'm been around doing this long enough that I learned that you don't air your dirty laundry on MySpace and Friendster and all those things. But kids need to learn that. They're going to take that drama with them anywhere. However, I guess things like Twitter, which they seem to find more engaging, I would imagine has more room for drama, considering all it is updates. I'm sad. He doesn't love me anymore. She doesn't love me anymore. Things like that. That would drive me nuts. I only use Twitter because I have to. As a business, I need to tweet. But the amount of times I log in there are very slim, whereas I keep Facebook open all the time. And I agree with Matt in the chat that Twitter sucks. But that's my opinion. But are we going to lose people to that? I mean, we watched how fast MySpace crumbled, just from a couple of bad decisions. One of the main things that brought Facebook into the light was MySpace doing ridiculous redesigns. I don't know if a lot of people remember this, but they totally redesigned their page or the whole site. Probably a few months before Facebook kind of took the reins, and this made it very unnavigable. People that have been using MySpace for a couple of years were very comfortable with the way it laid out. I mean, people right now complain about Facebook when they tweak the little list of things. I'm guilty of that as well. So I mean, that's all it really could take is just simple tweaks. For instance, right now, I don't know if people have noticed, but Facebook has really dropped the ball on commenting and replying. Mainly, I don't think it's on the individual users' pages just yet. They're kind of trying it out with the Facebook pages, the business pages, and things like that, where instead of everything going in order of being post, there is an order of popularity and things like that of the comments on things. So things are way out of whack. You'll see responses to things that don't pertain to the thing that you just commented on. Things are just messed up, and they're doing this like I could be looking at the same picture and list of comments as, say, Justin, and we'll see a different order based on who our friends are and things like that, and what Facebook feels is a relevant comment. Yeah, it's really bad. It's a very poor choice. I hope they. I could see how it might be nice because they're looking at one of their debates with that is that some of the pages out there that have 600-some thousand fans or likes, and you're getting thousands of comments. People want to see the relevant comments, things like that, or relevant conversations. I could kind of see that because things just get buried and buried and buried. But on people's pages like mine, who have a little under 700 fans, I would like people to read. We're having a conversation through this thing. It's not just random posts, so it becomes really hard to manage. And I think it should at least be a feature that we can turn off. And I read somewhere that you can, but for the life of me, I cannot find where. But that's one of those things that, as crazy as it sounds, could kill Facebook, could send people over to that new Path social network, which my wife convinced me to download on my phone. She said, "Have you checked out that new Path app?" I said, "Well, no, I have not." And she sent me a invite to it. I downloaded it, I signed up, and then I uninstalled it. So I just don't want it anymore. Same reason I don't get on Google Plus like I do on Facebook. I've got one place I already, I go to check messages and converse with people. I don't want another one. But apparently teens are going to decide what our next move is. So I would imagine Google Plus would be the forerunner for next in line. I think that was redundant. But it should Facebook make a screw up. However, somebody like Path, who has a fancy little app and sleek looking, kind of resembles Pinterest. I don't know. Maybe people will just kind of slide over there. But I really think it'll require Facebook to do something ridiculous to drive all the users away and look for another option. But with that said, Google Plus, I don't know. Of course, since I don't log in there very often, I use almost every other Google service actually, besides Google Plus. But I don't know if it has the power that Facebook has, all the options that Facebook has, but I'm sure it does in one way or another. But I don't know. Facebook still is the giant and has probably they're the biggest user base out of all those. Twitter, I think, is just going to be one of those things that just sticks around. I don't see any reason to have to update my status on Facebook and then also do it on Twitter, or set it up so that they update at simultaneous times. To me, that sounds a little dumb, but people do it. People are tweeting, whatever, all the time. But I don't know. Let me look at something here. That was fake. But so I don't know if anybody's ever used Path. I don't know much about it, but that does seem, from one of the articles I've read, to be something that the kids are moving towards. Then you have these smaller ones like Pinterest, which, I say smaller because they're not as robust. They're just like a kind of a one-trick pony that are hanging in there. But I don't know. I think Facebook still has all the tools in one spot that we're looking for, as far as, their photo sharing, I believe, is the most used on the internet today, where they have the largest bank of photos from their users. Although I don't know if you can share photos like it used to be. You can share between users, but unlike PhotoBucket and things like that, you can't easily just copy and paste a link to a photo on Facebook anymore. That was kind of a nice feature that MySpace had back in the day. But I don't know. I'm going to go to a commercial break, take a breather, and we'll talk some more social networking.
Need a do-it-yourself with your website? Let the gurus at thedigitalcraft.com teach you how to build, design, and maintain your website at an affordable price. They offer private training on web programming, graphic and web design, video production, motion graphics, and expert consulting. Book your session today on Facebook at facebook.com/thedigitcraft and check out free tutorials at youtube.com/thedigitcraft or take our courses on udemy.com. Thedigitalcraft.com, your web and design gurus. You're listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Every Sunday at 2 p.m., he's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Live Speak with Justin Geek without Justin the Geek. I was just telling people in the chat that I have run out of things to talk about. But John says that I should scandalize Justin instead, which he may be listening. I don't know. I think he would have joined in the chat had he been. But yeah, looking at some of the comments here, Deb says she doesn't know much about Google Plus either. I just know that it does the same stuff, or give or take, that Facebook does. So why would I want to use it? I've already got Facebook, and it's kind of annoying. I get a lot of emails using my Gmail service. Again, I use all of Google's products except for Google Plus, but I get updates. So and so from your circle has done this and that on Google Plus, and I think I've maybe clicked on that once. I think it was pertaining to my band, so I was interesting. But other than that, I don't care. I don't want to care. I don't want it to. I definitely have enough monitors here to house all these social networks, but I don't necessarily want to have them all running at once. But and John says he uses Twitter for his business, but through Facebook. Yeah, like I was saying, it's kind of ridiculous that not only do we need to have a Twitter and a Facebook account, update them the same time, like if we put some post on Facebook, we should also post it on Twitter, but you can actually set it up to update via Facebook, which I don't know. I've already, saying the same thing I said a couple minutes ago, but it just seems ridiculous. But Deb says Twitter is faster to keep up with news. Yeah, I could see that. Although I'd rather read a whole article. And John says, from a developer's point of view, unless he uses it for a client, he doesn't log on directly. I'm in the same boat. I have used Twitter from a development point of view. Most recently for a tennis player. What was his name? I don't know about tennis, but he apparently is a big deal over, I think, in Argentina. David Ferrer or something like that. But we did a company I worked for before I started teaching. We did his website, and it was a Facebook page that we completely redid, reskinned, butchered in a good way. But yeah, I had to get into the Twitter API and pull his feed from Twitter. Not only that, but I had to translate it as well from Spanish to English, depending on the options people chose. So I guess it is nice for quick news in that sense. Facebook's API is a lot harder to deal with. That's another, coming from a developer's point of view. Although we're not the main decision on whether Facebook would last, but I guess we do play a big part in it, as far as whether we make apps for Facebook or not, and whether we integrate it into websites. Twitter is definitely way easier for a developer to integrate. But Deb says she likes the headlines and don't have time to read the whole articles. I could see that. I just wish I could get this sound just as ridiculous as the statement before. I wish I could get my Twitter coming in through my Facebook, so I don't have to log into Twitter to read news and things like that. I read my news on Google News. I don't know if other people use that or not. I'm hesitant to say that because that's where we get most of our tech news. So if you read the tech news or the Google News on Sundays, you're going to see where we got a lot of our material. But to me, I don't know. I like that better. You get a headline, you get a snippet. I guess that's still the same thing you get with Twitter, but rather than having to subscribe to other people's Twitter accounts or follow them, I think that's the term. You can simply put in topics that you want to know about and click through your topics, and they appear on the right, and it's nice and fancy. Although you're not getting your friends' news in there as well. So I guess, I don't know. I can see some use for Twitter. Obviously, other people do. It's a giant. And even though something like Facebook, which has the capabilities that Twitter does, and then some, has been around long enough, and very successful at that. Twitter is still here and strong. The integration, I get, now I think about the integration with live TV and things like that. I think that's kind of cool. Never once have I logged into my Twitter while watching a TV show and done the hashtag someone's name at American Idol, whatever. I've never done that, but I could see how that's kind of interesting. Maybe that's one of the things that Twitter has that Facebook doesn't. But I don't know. That's my story today. We're going to do a short show today. We will be back with Justin next week, at least as a call-in guest while I take the reins. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to end with one last song from Left Lane Cruiser. I thank everybody for joining me. If I do the show next week, if Justin can't make it, I will add more material as I realize I can walk through it a lot faster when there's only one of us. But thanks everybody for joining us today. Matt, Deb, John, those chatting with us. And here is Left Lane Cruiser one last time with Pork and Beans. Left Lane Cruiser from Fort Wayne, Indiana, but also a nationally signed artist who tours around fancy places like Europe.
I and you're poking beans.
To Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Every Sunday at 2 p.m., Justin brings you amazing courses on Udemy.com and amazing guests and great conversation. Miss an episode? No problem. Go to www.geekcreations.com and click on the episode to listen. And join us next week for another episode of Live Speak with Justin the Geek.